welcome back everyone for some more Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. We are going to be beginning our investigation in the case against Solomon Starbuck, the famed astronaut. And we got off, the past two episodes, we kicked off case number 4 straight in the courtroom. This is going to be our first time actually investigating this case, though we were able to avert a guilty verdict by discrediting a key piece of evidence brought forth by Prosecutor Blackwell. But before we get started with our investigation, hope you guys have an awesome day today. Hope you guys doing well. So without further ado, let's begin our investigation. In the middle of the Space Center bombing trial, we had another bombing incident. This one destroyed courtroom number 4. Furthermore, Apollo suffered massive injuries from being there when the bomb went off. Unfortunately, Juniper Woods was fingered as the courtroom bomber. Athena and I knew she had to be innocent, so we took her case on. We managed to clear Miss Wood's name. But Apollo sustained further injuries when he was attacked by Ted's innate. Yeah, this was the first case of Dual Destinies. December 19th, 3:21 p.m. Rate Anything Agency. I wonder how long the plate of spaghetti's gonna be there. Apollo is a tough guy, but this is taking its toll on him. Yeah, poor guy, being attacked by Tenate like that on top of all his other injuries. Apollo is resting at the nearby Hickfield Clinic. I've had some experience with that place myself. What an awful turn of events. I never thought he'd land in a hospital, of all places. You must miss him too, huh? Now that you don't have anybody to tease. Don't worry, he's young. He'll heal quickly and be back before you know it. It's been a while since I last saw Juicy look so down. We won the court case, yet nobody feels much like celebrating. Alright, enough of this, people. This is no time to be moping around. Now, dry those eyes. Both of you. You're the only one who's crying, Athena. Technicalities. Look, we have work to do. We have to take over. Take over what, exactly? Apollo Space Center case, of course. As no verdict's been reached, there's still a chance. I agree with Athena. We should pick up Mr. Starbuck's defense. We have to avenge our fallen comrade. Right, Daddy? Apollo hasn't exactly fallen. He's still alive, you know. Good. Now that that's settled, let's get going. Come on, we gotta run. Wait, right now? Now? We better not be running the whole way. There she goes. I better go catch up. Can you take care of the office, Juicy? Sure thing, Daddy. Let's be careful out there. In the meantime, I'm gonna bake some cookies, fill up my magic panties for you. Juicy seems to be feeling a little better. I can always count on Athena to perk everybody up with her enthusiasm. Oh, she's back. Don't mind me, just forgot a few things. Wallet, phone, documents, my bag. Sounds more like you forgot everything. Can always count on Athena for that, too. Alright, you two. Let's be careful out there. December 19th. Detention Center. Visitors Room. So our client is one Solomon Starbuck. He's so famous even I heard of him. That's right, he's a super famous astronaut who works at the Cosmos Space Center. He was actually up in outer space 7 years ago. Seem to know quite a bit about him. Now I'm all excited to meet the man. There's his sign again. Wow, that was the longest sigh I've ever heard. Apollo told me about you. You're Phoenix, right? Apollo's mentor, right? Yes, that's right. Mentor has a nice ring to it. Don't worry about a thing, Mr. Starbuck. Mr. Raid and I have got you covered. Ah, and you're the new kid that Apollo told me about. Wait, don't I know you from somewhere? Huh? You mean, other than that, your child? I don't think so. I guess so. My mistake. My memory isn't what it used to be. My mind and body are kaput. Same goes for my life. I mean, I'm so astronomically unlucky that I had a bomb go off in the middle of my trial. Trying to defend me would be like trying to enter the stratosphere without a spacecraft. Yikes, he seriously gotta stop addressing himself. Cheer up, Mr. Starbuck. Besides, that thing you said about entering the stratosphere, that just means we'd shine like shooting stars, right? Like shooting stars, huh? You know, you're right. Why didn't I think of that? After all, that's what we were all put on this earth to do, right? Shine like stars. Guess I shouldn't mention the fact that shooting stars burn out in a flash. Oh yeah, here we go. 3, 2, 1. To the stratosphere and beyond. Yeah, I feel alive now. You can go ahead and ask me anything you want. Is that really all it takes? We'll talk to him. So, you have no memory at all of the incident? I'm so ashamed. My memory of the time is as black and clouded as a dark nebula. Still, it's strange you don't remember a thing. Are you sure you didn't take one of those anti-anxiety pills like they said at the trial? You got it all wrong. I told him during the investigation, too. I don't know anything about any drugs. I never took any medication, I swear. It is true I developed a fear of space because of what happened 7 years ago. And I was taking medication secretly every now and then when my anxiety got bad. Having a fear of space is not something that an astronaut can brag about, you know? Oh, the so-called Hat 1 miracle? That must have been a terrifying experience. But I'm still an astronaut at heart, come what may. I would never take drugs that might impede my performance just before launch. That launch meant everything to me. That's more certain than the theory of relativity. Seems like a completely different person now. This is the face of the astronaut I know. But the tranquilizers were found in your system. Yeah, see, that's the thing. But I don't know why. I'm done for. If you didn't take them, then maybe somebody slipped them to you? Exactly, that's what I thought. You must have been the real culprit. My medication was in my locker. Anybody could have gotten their hands on it. Maybe the real culprit also planted the detonator switch in your pocket. Yeah, that's gotta be it. I've been framed. I'll say, they even managed to plant your prints on the switch before slipping it in. It's a real possibility. Do you remember anything else that might be relevant? Anything at all, no matter how small. Like, about the murder weapon, for example. That knife. I think it came from one of the Space Center's utility kits. Utility kits? Yeah, staff who work on machinery a lot are given these special toolkits to use. All the technicians have them, so I doubt you could prove whose knife it is. Utility knife updated in the court record. It has the victim's blood on it from a set of utility tools used by special Space Center techs. As I recall, your last trip into space was 7 years ago, right? That's right. It was a pretty rough experience. During that mission, we had all kinds of problems with the craft. You did? What kind of problems? Power failure, oxygen leakage, busted radio, cracked windows, loose control column. The heat shield came off as we were entering the atmosphere. I thought I was a goner. But I managed to make it somehow with the popsicles and ice packs from the freezer. No wonder they dubbed it the Hat 1 miracle. It's a miracle you made it back. Space is a boundless place. That's why it continues to capture people's imaginations. But the vastness of space shows us how insignificant we are in the scheme of things. The darkness just goes on and on forever, and ever, and ever, without end. There was nobody else there. Nobody was gonna come save me. I was all alone. All alone. With nothing to listen to but the sound of my own breathing and heartbeat. I kept scrambling to make repairs, but I couldn't keep my hands from shaking. An experience like that would make anybody afraid to go up into space. With the experience you had, weren't you dreading this mission? What? No way! Of course not! Even now I want to go up into space so bad I can barely stand it. I want to shake off the Earth's gravity at escape velocity and spin around weightless. But you have to admit it was pretty harrowing. Weren't you even a tiny bit afraid? I was afraid. Of course I was. Still am. But space is man's final frontier, an unknown world. The cosmic truth is out there waiting for us somewhere. The cosmic truth, huh? Guess there are people looking for the truth in every walk of life. No matter how afraid I am, I'm sure I can manage. If I give in to my fear, I'll never find the truth. As long as I don't give up, I can keep the fight. One thing's for sure, Mr. Starbuck's passion for space is undeniably the real deal. The victim, Clay Tarrant. He was kind of like your protege, wasn't he? Well, it wasn't a big exaggerated deal like Master and Apprentice or anything like that, but Clay did think of me as his mentor. The mentor and the protege. What a combination it must have been. With his encouragement, I knew I could get over my fear and go back into space. But now... Clay must have been very encouraging, huh? Yeah, it's funny, really. Whenever I hear him shout, "You're fine," I always got the feeling everything really was gonna be just fine. You're fine? Apollo says I'm fine, and you're fine all the time too. And I always feel encouraged too whenever I hear him shout it. Yeah, Clay and Apollo were best buds. They used to come visit the Space Center a lot ever since they were high school kids. One day, out of the blue, Clay even told me he wanted to be my protege. Those two hung around the Space Center so much they were like part of the staff. One time during ZOG training, I started to panic a little bit, and the two of them took turns shouting, "You're fine," over the radio. It was a simple thing, but it was exactly what I needed to hear. So, "I'm fine" and "you're fine" were like Apollo and Clay's secret phrases, huh? I wish I could ask Apollo more about Clay and their relationship now. Speaking of Clay, how did you suppose he climbed down the ladder with you over his shoulder? Sorry, but I can't even begin to imagine. But he actually did climb down that ladder, so a way has to exist. From the freedom of space to the walls of a cell. But that prosecutor said the dark night sky isn't half bad through barred windows. You're fine. Solomon Saul Starbuck is fine. Everything is gonna be alright. Huh? And Athena Sykes is fine. Come on, Mr. Wright, you too. Do I really have to? Phoenix Wright is fine. I can't hear you. But Phoenix Wright is fine. We'll get you back into space yet, Mr. Starbuck. Believe in your own innocence and have faith in us. Apollo believed in you wholeheartedly, and that's good enough for me. I believe in you too. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. I'll put my faith in you. And I vow to make it back into space. All I need is a not guilty verdict. Sure feels nice to reassure ourselves every now and then that we're all fine. Okay, Mr. Ray. Let's get our investigation at Space Center started. Pronto. Good idea. Let's go. And with that, we are going to go ahead and move to the entrance. December 19th. Cosmos Space Center entrance. Wow, I was wondering what kind of place this Space Center would be. Almost like an amusement park of the future. Yeah, did you know they even let the public see the rockets up close? Oh, so check it out. Look at how brightly the Gioxa logo shines in the sunlight above the entranceway. I really dig the stars and rocket motif it's got going. Gioxa, huh? Is that the new name of the Federal Space R&D program? Yeah, but why the strange acronym? I mean, what is GYA supposed to stand for? Galaxy? If that were it, then the whole thing would be something like Galaxy Exploration Agency. Which, if you ask me, I'd have abbreviated to GAXA, or even Gaia. Or Gaia. I guess so. Oh, I know. Maybe the person who came up with the name just really likes the letter Y. This exchange is beginning to feel oddly like deja vu. Anyway, this place is more than just a research facility, it's also a tourist attraction. Tourist attraction? Don't make me laugh. It's a monument to the human race. Galactic scooter, full speed ahead. Wow. Okay. Yikes! Who's this geezer and what's he want? Look upon me and look well. Behold the great power of space science. Pardon me, but you are... My glorious name is Yuri Cosmos. I am the director of the Cosmos Space Center. The center of the cosmos. Boss, that was pretty groan-inducing. If this person is the Space Center's director, then that means... Aha! So you were one of the first to discover Pele's body, weren't you? And who was the first to find the victim? Actually, there were two of them. The Space Center director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Kian Dasarm. That is correct. I was honored to be the very first man in all of space in time to discover the body. But this talk of the incident, are you by any chance the space police? You can't tack the word space onto just any old thing, you know. We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We're here to investigate his case. Oh, and we're Earth lawyers, by the way. Ah, I see. Yes, I've heard about you. In that case, by my esteemed privilege, I grant you permission to investigate. I trust you are appropriately grateful. Now go ahead. Have at it. I can already tell he's gonna be nothing but trouble. Don't let him hear you say that, or you'll see what trouble really is. Let's just be professional and ask him about when he found the body, okay? So, as director, what do you do here at the Space Center specifically? Defend peace across the galaxy and promote space development in this country. No matter what obstacles stand in our way, we keep going, for the sake of mankind. I believe I used the word specifically in my question. Attention all personnel, to your break stations. Prepare for break. Oh, I get it. You just wander around and tell people what to do in a self-important manner. That is exactly right, because I am an important man. My manner is important. Mr. Ray, this man doesn't get sarcasm. Well, there's bound to be some people like that here in the boundlessness of space. What's that? You want to know what it is that makes me important specifically? Very well, I will tell you. I was the central figure of the Hat 1 project. You may proceed to be appropriately impressed. Now go ahead. Have at it. I'd be more impressed if I knew what he did for it, specifically. Could you tell us what you know about the incidents from the other day? I refuse. What? Explaining is a job for common folk, not the director of the Center of the Cosmos. My testimony, which will go down in space history, will be heard in the courtroom. What? So does that mean you'll be taking the stand tomorrow? That is correct. I will be the most glorious witness in the history of mankind. Not sure if he really understands what being a witness is all about. Looks like Director Cosmos is the type that only talks about what he wants to talk about. Then let's at least try to ask him about the things he might be willing to open up about. The Hat 1 was a rocket that was launched into space 7 years ago, correct? And despite numerous problems, it somehow made its way back home? I suppose it is part of my job to educate ignorant young folk like you. Very well, I will report to you the complete story of the Hat 1 project. Oh, thank you very much. Hat 1's noble mission was to complete samples from an asteroid, and Mr. Starbuck was the pilot for that flight. Eventually, the Hat 1 reached its planned orbit. From where it launched, the Hope probe towards the asteroid belt. From there, the Hope probe began its long, lonely journey to the far reaches of space. Then, after a terrifying struggle, the Hat 1 returned safely to Earth. That struggle was when the incident known as the Hat 1 miracle occurred, right? Correct, and it truly was a miracle. Of course, they just had to turn the ordeal into a movie. As for the Hope probe, it did eventually arrive safely at its destination. It obtained a few samples from the asteroid and returned to Earth but a few days ago. So what kind of samples are they? What's in them? The samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had time since I just came back the day before Terran's murder. Regrettably, we had no time to inspect the samples due to everything that has occurred. But this puts our space development program ahead of other countries by several years. That's quite impressive. I guess this guy isn't just a loudmouth braggart after all. In the golden age of space development, our predecessors were successful in bringing a moon rock back. That is the greatest achievement in the history of the Space Center. The public fell in love with space and all of its glorious potential. A moon rock, huh? I remember that being big. Our endeavors with the moon rock live on in our work with those asteroid samples. I want to bestow new hopes and dreams for the future upon mankind once again. That is my mission, as the man who stands at the center of the cosmos. I hear there's lots of research in the moon rocks and stardust from asteroids these days. They say the results could potentially have a huge impact on all of civilization. It's like we're in a new space race with every other country out there. What? Bite your tongue. It's not for anything so base as money or politics. It's all for the brilliant future that awaits mankind and for my illustrious mission. With the recent budget cuts, my staff tells me finances are tight, but I won't hear it. I guess even a space program has to watch its budget. By the way, you seem awfully knowledgeable about this kind of thing, Athena. Huh? Oh, well, you know, I thought I'd better brush up for the case. Is that so? Well, I'll be on my way. As you can see, I'm a very busy and very important man. Galactic Scooter, fire up the main engine. Max battle speed, and engage. Well then. That thing is surprisingly fast. I guess we better get going too. You bet. Let's make it so. And with that, we are going to go ahead and we are going to move to the boarding lounge. December 19th. Cosmos Space Center. Boarding lounge. So this is where Mr. Terran was murdered. Yeah, this is the lounge. Let's see. Let's see that diagram the police made again. Right now we're in the main building here on the right side, on the 3rd floor. Clay and Mr. Starbuck fled here from Launch Pad 1 after the explosion. You there! No admittance without express permission. We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We've come to investigate... Sorry, nobody gets in without permission. Not even a police superintendent. Can't have Detective Fulbright getting mad at me. So Detective Fulbright is here, huh? Yeah, he's in Launch Pad 1 corridor. Go get clearance from him, then we'll talk. Leave it to me. I'm great at getting intel out of Detective Fulbright. Let's see. What trick should I use on him today? I don't know if I should be grateful or afraid. So, to get to the Launch Pad 1 corridor, we just have to go through that door with a blue rocket on it, I think. Wait, that door. Looks awfully familiar. Good eye there, boss. This is the door Clay and Mr. Starbuck used during their escape from the launch pad. Ah, that explains it. The fingerprint system has been deactivated, so I think we just passed through. Now come on, let's go. And with that, we are going to go ahead and do just that. We are going to go to Launch Pad 1 corridor. December 19th, Cosmos Space Center. Launch Pad 1 corridor. So this is it, huh? This is the corridor the two of them used in the escape. Yep, this is the only thing connecting Launch Pad 1 with the main building. I see police tape down there at the other end. Guess we won't be looking at the launch pad. After the explosion, this whole corridor must have been filled with smoke. And the launch pad itself is probably a sea of flames. Must have been pretty scary for them. Now, where could Detective Fulbright be? Hey, I think that's him over there. What should I do? Which path is the path of justice? He seems to be lost. That's funny. This corridor is a straight shot. Huh? Ah, it's you lawyer people. Welcome to the Space Center. Enjoying a relaxing day off, are you? Here for a little rocket sightseeing? We're here to investigate the scene, same as you. Do you have any info to share? Boss, if he acts at all reluctant to give us information, we hit him with the whatever shall we do act. I'm sure he'll fall for it. Got it? Are we trying to catch the unruly family dog here or something? Info on the case, huh? Alright, I'll gladly share some with you. Huh? What just happened? Detectives and lawyers seeking truth and justice side by side. I like it. Just take whatever you want from me, if you info bandits. I'm in a generous mood today. I don't know. There's something weird about Detective Fulbright today. Well, we need information, so let's run with it. If you say so. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk to Fulbright. Detective Fulbright, could you give us permission to investigate the crime scene? There's an officer on guard and we can't get in. Oh, whatever shall we do? That's an easy one. I'll let them know over there to let you in. Investigate to your heart's content. Take a week if you need it. A month even. Shall I have some snacks delivered? One of my men gives a mean wreck neck rub. No, that's okay. But thanks. Definitely not the Fulbright I know. Detective Fulbright is acting sickeningly sweet. It's kind of gross, actually. You think he has hit his head or something? Who knows? Whatever the case, it's making our lives way easier. You were here at the Space Center at the time of the incidents, weren't you, Detective? That's right. I was here on security assignment. The police are required to secure rocket launches now? I didn't know that. Yes. Well, you know us. Just serve and protect. The explosions occurred while I was here on duty, so I started leading the evacuation. He's leaving out a lot of details, but okay. Could you tell us more about what happened? Of course. A bomb went off on the second floor of the main building. Right after that, the one over in Launch Pad 1 also blew sky high. So I immediately instructed the visitors and employees to evacuate to the shelter. The shelter? That's right, there's an evacuation shelter in the basement of the Space Center. It's there for accidents and emergencies and the like. So where were you when the first bomb went off? I was on duty on the 4th floor. It was quite the madhouse, I tell you. The elevator wasn't working on account of the explosion, and the stairs on the 2nd floor were destroyed, so we couldn't go that way. Then wasn't it impossible to get down to the basement shelter? No, we lowered an emergency ladder from the 4th floor window and escaped that way. It was a folding ladder, so it wasn't very stable, but at least it reached the ground. After I secured the ladder, I left to take another look around for any other survivors. Once everyone else got out safely, I made my way down too and headed to the shelter. Wow, what an ordeal, but climbing down an emergency ladder kinda sounds fun. Thank you for your answers, Detective. They were very helpful. Just a moment, I have some more information to share with you. But don't tell Prosecutor Blackwell, okay? Wow, and Prosecutor Blackwell usually has you on a short leash, too. Well, never mind that. I thought you should know that there was a witness. Okay, let's ask about this. Could you tell us more about this witness? Sure thing. The witness was a Space Center employee who was on the 4th floor. While she was climbing down, she looked through a window in the 3rd floor lounge. So, she was looking to the crime scene from the outside? That's right. It was just a matter of chance that she saw something important. Not that I know what she saw exactly yet, though. You don't? But that's the most important thing of all. Don't you worry, I'll get around to interviewing her soon enough. She should still be somewhere here in the Space Center. You might even run into her. The 4th floor employee, huh? Alright, thanks for the info, Detective Fulbright. Gee, you sure are being cooperative, Detective. A little too cooperative, even. Yes, well, actually, something you can't talk about? Yes, something like that. Anyway, never mind. Don't worry about me. Well, I'll be on my way now. What was that all about? Something is definitely going on. I'm gonna get out of him the next time I see him. Oh, okay. Not so sure he'll talk about it, though. Well, we have permission to investigate now. Let's get back to the boarding lounge. And with that, we are going to go ahead and end things off here. The next time I see you guys, we will be continuing on this investigation. So, hope you guys are looking forward to that. But thank you guys so much for watching this. Hope you guys are enjoying the series so far, and I'll be seeing you guys again next time.